to Add to Cart, the show where we celebrate creativity and commerce. In this season, we are welcoming founders who are doing amazing things in different parts of e-commerce in innovative ways that you haven't seen before. Today, I have Havenly and their founder, Lee Meyers, who has completely revolutionized how you design your home. It is the best way to get interior design online, where you can design your home, get an awesome space, and then purchase the products you need to make that home a reality. Welcome to the show, Lee.
Thank you.
I am delighted to have you here because you, of all of our guests this season, have the prettiest pictures.
Oh, wow. That is high praise from you.
It is high praise. Because your business is all about selling these beautiful lifestyles, selling beautiful homes.
Yep.
So just for folks who are maybe new to Havenly, don't know Havenly, give me the spiel. How did you come up with this great business?
Well, so Havenly is the easiest way to design your home. So the core of our business is really we come into your home or online, we look at your space, and we try and figure out the best ways to make it work for you, whether it's function, style, or comfort. We try and make it happen.
And any space, right?
Any space, yeah. So anything in your home, or, now we do vacation properties and commercial properties as well. But we're just all about making it feel really great for you. And so I think one of the things that really precipitated this decision to start this company for me was when I looked at the interior design space, I was shocked by how effectively rarefied it is. So you either have to have a tremendous amount of money, or you have to have the ability and wherewithal to sort of do it yourself.
Yeah.
And there wasn't something in the middle that sort of helped guide you towards whatever it meant to have a beautiful home. And also, there's a little bit of snobbiness about your home, right? Frankly, not the beautiful Arc Digest spreads that you see aren't realistic for some of us with kids and pets and jobs and, also, have you ever noticed in Arc Digest, they never have electrical cords? It's the weirdest thing. I'm like, how do you plug in your life?
It's not real life.
I know, it's very bizarre. Anyway, so I think one of the things I was looking to build was something that was a lot more accessible and friendly and real about the home, and that's where we started.
One of the coolest things you did was you had your business actually redo your whole damn house.
Yeah.
You used your own house as a guinea pig.
Yeah, I totally did.
How'd that go?
It went really well, and we're actually doing it again. So because it's been 4.5 years since I moved in, one of the, I think, pieces of collateral damage with starting a home company is you constantly get hit with inspiration. And so I've been feeling really inspired to do it again. So I consistently use our product. When I had a baby, we did our nursery. We're redoing a number of rooms in our house again.
I love it.
And it's super fun because, you get this opportunity to use your own service for your space. And again, you get to show it off over time as well.
But also, one of the extensions of this that was one of my favorite marketing extensions I've ever seen is you have a coffee table book all about home. So tell people about your coffee table book.
So we wrote this book called Design the Home You Love. We pulled together my favorite images from all of the homes we've done over the years, including many of my own. So there was a lot of thought put into this. And really what we were trying to get to was a book that looked pretty, certainly sitting on a coffee table.
That could compete with Architectural Digest.
That could compete with Arc Digest. But, on the inside, a little bit more of a guide towards how you sort of, figure it out for yourself and some of the principles that I've learned. I'm not a designer. Some of the principles that I've learned running this business and learned from many of my talented designers. So it's been super fun. I mean, again, it's a fun coffee table book. Coffee table books are pretty awesome when you're looking for a surface to fill a surface, and so it's been fun to see it on the tabletops of friends and influencers and mom.
You have probably more than anyone I know made your own life content for attracting people to your business. Talk a little bit about that strategy. How do you feel about that strategy?
It's a little weird. You have to be thoughtful about the parts of your life that you're willing to expose and the parts of your life that you're not, because, I think if you're not a little careful, you can end up getting into a world in which you're living for that as opposed to having it be sort of an accessory to your business.
Yeah.
And I think that actually is it's a little uncomfortable. It's oh gosh, people now know my living room looks like this and my bedroom looks like this and this is where my kid sleeps and stuff like that is a little bit bizarre.
but also you've created a plethora of partnerships with interesting celebrities and influencers to just get people inspired to redo something in their home. So talk about maybe some of your most successful partnerships, and then let's pick maybe one or two that weren't as successful.
We have done a bunch with a lot of people. One of my favorites was with Reese's Book Club, where we did design services.
Reese Witherspoon's book club.
I know.
Love
it was super, super cool. Reese Witherspoon is such an inspiration and adorable.
Yeah.
And what they really wanted to do was around the book club element to create some sort of extension around the home. The idea being, if we could create sort of this lexicon of reading rooms, particularly around the women that are so passionate about Reese's Book Club, that could be an interesting way to partner together to like design and create furnishings for reading rooms.
Yeah, libraries are not something most of us are investing in anymore.
That's right. I think this idea of the reading room was just like a space to yourself to just read.
You've also told me that the micro-influencers are surprisingly effective.
They really are.
So give me an example of a micro-influencing moment.
I think one of the things that's been so interesting is like it's not always the design influencer that works. Like a great example is there's actually a wonderful woman who's local, Paleo MG, who actually like most of her content is around
food, probably.
Food. Yeah, so paleo lifestyle. And she does wonders for us. And you know, she has a really healthy following and she's really authentic in the way she presents herself. And every time we redo something of hers and she posts about us, we do extremely well. And we love partnering with her because she feels like she's part of the family. And it's surprising. Like you think, you know, what would a food influencer have to do with a design brand? Well, or a home brand. Well, as it turns out, like everyone that eats food lives in a home.
That's
and so,
true. But there's also that aspect, I think, of people following influencers because they relate to them, because they find something about their lifestyle to be like their own or mirror something about their own preferences. It's not that surprising to say, okay, there's actually probably too much noise with these home influencers. We'll stand out with some of these more, some of these alternative ideas of what people are following for, and therefore it's not quite as competitive within the home influencer space.
When I think about, for example, the things that I put out there on social media that get the most response, it's often the most authentic.
Yes.
Right.
It's when you're being honest.
It's when you're just sort of like, yeah, so life is life. Yes. And I think the influencers that we found a lot of success with are the folks that are like that, where life is life. And it also makes it achievable. I mean, so much of what we're selling is that, you know, you don't have to like hide your electrical cords. Like, you can have a beautiful home though. Yeah. You can have a home you're proud of and you're comfortable in. That you can use, that feels functional to you. One of the things that, like, you know, I used to hear a lot from, in particular, young moms, so moms of young children, is they'd say something like, oh, I want to redo my home, but like, I'll just wait until the kids are like 7 or 8. And I'm always like, you're going to wait 8 years to have a home you feel comfortable in?
It's wild to me.
Just do it now. Yeah. Like, you can replace it all over time. You can protect it all in different ways.
Okay, let's talk about something that I think is unique and distinctive about your business, which is you have humans designing rooms for other humans, which is empowered by technology. There's a lot of technology in your business, everything from the intake process to the shopping process, but there's still a person.
There's a human
that's going to help you figure out what all of it's going to look like. Why was that so important to hold on to as you scaled and grown your company?
The thing is like, don't underestimate the power of humans to form connection, to really understand, particularly like when you think about design. So your home preference, even if like we overwhelmingly look and feel the same, so we're the same age, we have a similar job, we have the same types of families, maybe we even have the same, quote, style. But like what you want in your home is so very specific to you. It's actually a very, very personal thing. Understanding what that means in terms of product and layout and fit and finish is really something a human does way better than anything I've seen so far. In particular with like sort of the AI revolution that's been happening recently, it's been interesting to sort of see it play out. Like the things that, again, AI is really good at, and the things that like feel a little creepy.
I'd be curious though, because with design, and I think about this with photography and videography, anything creative, but with design especially, It's often when you break the rules or when you do something
That's
unexpected
That's right.
that the best outcomes emerge.
Yeah.
And that has to happen through a human knowing what rules to break.
I think that's right.
You can teach a computer the rules.
Oh, 100%.
Very hard to teach a computer, well, here's the nuance of how to break a rule and why to break a rule and exactly why that works or doesn't work.
Yeah.
That comes to life in all of our homes, in all of our design preferences, even in the clothes that we wear.
100%.
The choices we make are oftentimes the most distinctive and the most impressive when we do something unexpected. You have also really thought about pricing from a unique perspective too. I don't think you can ever underestimate the power of being thoughtful about pricing.
Yeah.
So help people understand really briefly, just you pay the very small fee you pay at the beginning to have a Havenly design.
I think in particular, one of the things that we saw was like you had this market where people would pay thousands and thousands of dollars for interior design, and then you had people that weren't consuming interior design at all. And so I was always saying, and I still say this, our biggest competitor is non-consumption. It's, oh, I'll try and put it together myself. And our perspective is, hey, for just a little bit, we can give you a bit of professional guidance. That doesn't mean you can't collaborate and bring your ideas to the table and, again, find the joy in sort of doing it yourself. But, like, we can bring a thoughtful eye to this, and it won't really break the bank for you. And so we really wanted to create a price that was very accessible. And again, subsequent rooms are only $199, so really you can do your whole home for not very much money.
At what point in the business did you realize that having just outstanding photography that can be used on Instagram, that can be used in coffee table books, was going to be a competitive advantage?
This is a great question. Actually, it's a hot topic at Havenly right now.
It is. Why?
So photography is a large part of our budget. So
Yes.
we spend a lot of money on it, shooting homes, shooting product. We have a fantastic team around it. But we have now these like photoreal 3D images. And we do catalogs. We send catalogs out once a month, once every 6 weeks. And in catalog, there's this conversation, like, do we do a shoot for it, which again would cost us some money and a lot of time, or should we just put in 3D images? And every time, the photo wins out. So we've actually
With the consumer.
With the consumer. We've actually A/B tested this. We have a style survey, so you can come onto Havenly's website and you can pick through images, and that's how we sort of assign you a designer, because we use that to identify your style. What we found is when we use 3D images, conversion drops, because there's something about photos, and like you can ask the consumer and they won't be able to fully pinpoint what it is. But that beautiful photo, that like beautiful like spread of this amazing home that really just speaks to you.
There's something about it your brain knows.
Your brain knows. And so we continue to invest in photography because, like, to be perfectly honest, like, we're selling a lifestyle, and like it is not, you can't just do that with sort of computer generated images.
Okay, for people who are thinking about a home redesign right now, what are 2 or 3 trends that have you excited?
Oh, that's so fun. So there is a bit of a trend. So mid-century modern has dominated home design for like
a long time now. Yeah.
Like, and it's like, yeah, I get it. It's super easy. It like works with everything. It's, you know, people,
somewhat timeless.
People like it. It is timeless, and it is. It's easy. It's easy to put together. The products tend to be a little bit less expensive as well, typically. So because less detail. There's less detail typically in a mid-century modern piece, you can get away with it being a little bit less expensive to construct. But now there's this move to a little bit more of this traditional style, and I'm like all about it. Like, it's warmer, so you're moving from like cooler colors to warmer colors. You're moving from your blues to your like greens, your rusts, your mauves. It's like really, really beautiful. And I love that. I love that feeling of like organic, modern, and sort of bringing a lot of like natural elements in a different way. The shapes are more fluid, they're more curved, they're less geometric. And it's just been fun to sort of see that happen.
A very fun feature of getting to know Havenly and Havenly getting to know the consumer is the style quiz.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about building a style quiz and how it helps your customers convert.
We started with the style quiz very, very early, mostly because I love quiz. And it was sort of one of those, you know, random ideas you come up with, and then it actually works well in execution. We've tried it without the style quiz, and it definitely helps people convert. And the reason is, getting people immersed in what they're about to do. So in other words, it serves this function of like educating the consumer about what we can actually deliver for you.
Love that.
So you get to like immerse yourself in these beautiful rooms, and then inevitably you get sort of like inspired. And it moves you off, I think. Sometimes what happens to all of us is like just inertia, like, oh, I can do that later. And then all of a sudden, like, you're sort of, again, surrounded by all these images that really speak to you, and you're able to sort of interact with them in a meaningful way and get some feedback back. Like, okay, when I select these images, this thing tells me that I'm this style, and here are the people that might work for me. And it really does help sort of engage with the product and the design a lot more. The lexicon of images really helps sort of break down that, like, language barrier a little bit, where we are actually seeing what you're envisioning aesthetically for your home.
It is that masterful phrase, show me, don't tell me.
That's exactly right. And it does that because, again, like, the lexicon around design isn't like fully standardized, and nor should it be. And so I think it allows us to understand sort of the nuance behind what you like and what you don't.
There are 3 things that I think folks should check out from this episode. The first is your style quiz. It's a fantastic way to convert customers and to get to know them better. The second is your book, a coffee table book that helps people experience the brand and get to know what's possible for them if they engage with Havenly. And third, I definitely think folks need to try adjacent influencers. Maybe don't go for the influencer who's right down the line of your space, but is in a similar space with a similar vibe that can authentically help promote your business. What do you think?
I love it.
Lee, thank you so much for being here. If you learned something from Lee, please subscribe to this channel because every month we are bringing you awesome founders who are sharing their knowledge about e-commerce. Lee, look at that camera over there. Tell the good people where they can learn more about Havenly.
You can go to havenly.com, check out our style quiz, find a designer you love, book your first design, get your beautiful home.